Hey guys, it's Christian Senior back from CNH Small again. I'm doing another informative video right now. It's about Sears, Craftsman, and Poulan leaf blowers you see right here. Sears basically buys different leaf blowers from different brands and basically rebrands them out there. And this one right here, my right hand right here is a Poulan, and basically they're one of the biggest manufacturers for the Sears line of leaf blowers out there. I think the newest one is EHP or Electrolux, or now the Husqvarna Hop Outdoor Power Products brand is basically making most of your stuff out there for that. And two types I have right here are the Sears from the late 90s and the early 2000s. And the next type right here are the ones from, like, I'd say about 2002 up to maybe about 2006, 2007 right here as well. And they change their design quite frequently out there for, like, I'd say they might have changed their design maybe every 5 to 6 years out there. And they basically kept this design from, like, I think like the late I'd say probably mid 90s to like early 2000. And then they went to this design right here as well after that. Then they went to the newer design. It looks like some of the newer steel machines out there as well too. And I'm going to show you how the new ones, or this old one, starts up right here. We had to do a complete fuel system cleaning on this one. Check the ports, and then a new fuel line, new fuel filler, new gas cap, new spark plug, airflow need to be cleaned out. And a new intake gas gunner as well too. So they basically needed the works on this machine. And the guy who brought it over here never had anything done to it ever. So it was basically time to have a lot of stuff done to it anyway, because his fuel line was broken about 6 different places, and you couldn't even see through a fuel line. It was basically completely white, and it was basically, you could just put your finger on it. It was just split in half every place you put it at. So I'm fired up before you can see how these things run. And the good thing about these things is they have the choke on the outside over here, plus you have your idle screw on and off switch right here as well too, and you got your idle adjustment mixer as well too, plus you have your idle screw adjustment for your low speed idle when it's idling down there as well too. So I'm going to show you how this one fires and runs. So you see this one right here, it took a bit to get going because these older ones, they do tend to take a little bit longer to get started after sitting for a time right there for that. So always, most of the time, if it's warm, you can either put on like half choke or just put on regular off choke. Basically, it's chokes running off on it for it, as basically said. Just put on choke off is just right there. Choke backs all the way completely shutting off the valve on there, and your half choke, partial chokes, usually about 1 notch past the choke mechanism right there. They have a partial choke mechanism right there as well. It has a couple of notches put into the plate on the carburetor, so you can move it right there when you're starting up when it's like slightly warm. So full choke off all the way up. You always got to turn on as well too. About these ones is they did have a bigger engine than the 32cc on these machines. However, the drawback with these type of designs are they are considerably more heavy than the newer machines after, because of their bulky size, like this one right here. And they do tend to start. You might have said before, they do take maybe 4, 5, 6 pulls to get one sometimes out there, and they only have one adjustment screw for the carburetor, where the other machines I've seen out here from Sears, they have 2 adjustment screws on there, so you can basically fine tune your carburetor. And this one has a blocker plate on the high ends, the high speed screw in here, so sometimes you cannot adjust the high speed at all on some of these machines out there, where other ones they do have adjustments on. Second one I got here for you is the Poulan. Basically, these are rebranded Sears, even though they're made by Poulan, stuff like that. This is basically just Poulan branding, even though Sears sells the same type of thing back in 2000, 2003, 2004. And these ones, they tend to start a little bit quicker than this one right here, so let me assume this one will start okay for me right now. Choke it up. High speed, looks good to me. Choke's long. Back it off a bit on here. This one right here is it's a 200 miles per hour, where this one right here is only about 170, and it's considerably heavier as well too. This one right here, it has a fully adjustable carburetor, so they do take less time to start in general time for that. And this one, I believe it's a 2003 because the EPA specifications for the emissions for small engines says 2003 EPA compliant or for that. And these ones were the intermediary models between this one right here and the newer ones that basically look like a big shell, almost like a spiral shell, and basically they have a chute going out the bottom, where this one was a precursor to those ones they currently have on the market, because all the new ones, they all look like the new steel leaf blowers out there for that, because they're a lot more economical, they're a lot more compact, and usually they're a lot lighter out there too for that. So that's basically a review of two different types of Sears machines out there. This one had to have the fuel system cleaned out and rebuilt as well too. On the fuel line was all corrupt, or crooked, and anything else down inside there. Need a new spark plug, new intake gasket on there as well too, new fuel filter, air filter cleaned out as well too, obviously, plus a new gasket where the carburetor makes the intake manifold in there well too for that. So that's a review of some of the Sears that are currently in the market and what to expect whenever you have to have some kind of a major issue with them for that. The one thing I need to mention also, these Sears ones like this right here, whenever you want to get to the carburetor on them, basically you got to take this whole top housing part out just to get to the carburetor as well too, where the newer machines like the 2006 to 2014 now, they basically have the carburetor on the outside, externally, outside of this whole case right here for that. And this one, like this one, is similar to that. The carburetor is not completely on the outside, however, it's basically 3/4 of the way on the outside for it, so it's a lot easier to get at than the older typical box ones like this because of that. And because of the box style like that, you got a lot more time to waste on it trying to get the carburetor out of, where this one right here, it's a lot more economical to get the carburetor out of these ones, where the newer ones like 2006 and up, basics, the carburetor is right on the outside. You must have to maybe take it off maybe by 1 or 2 minutes and just pop the whole carburetor out there for that. So that's basically a review of the timeline and history of some of these leaf blowers that Sears has in the market, plus a generalization of the other brands out there as well too. If anybody has any questions, comments, whatnot, you can either email me here or you can call me up. You know my phone number, guys. I'll see you. Have a nice day.